Welcome to Emuna is Our Future with a Broken Heart. That's correct. We are going live today with a broken heart. We're just going to fix something on the Facebook Live. Apologize. Always a struggle. Yes. Needs to be on the right curve, and then everything is good. That's it. It's all about connection. That's the class today. Make sure we're connected in, and that will be the key to our special weekly Emuna classes. We hope to one day update all this and get our weekly classes on our website, no problems. And that's part of my broken heart, that we struggle, Baruch Hashem, we struggle together to make these classes real and be proactive with them, thank God. And to remember that we are in this journey together. It's not something separate. It's not something to shy away, but something to begin with energy and renewal. And we ask you all to please check out all the previous classes, to be energized, to have power, thank God. And we're going to go live one more moment. For some reason, the Facebook still is not going. Let's get that moving, grooving. Yes, thank you for holding out. Hopefully we'll have the edited version. We're going to begin again, fresh. Let's try again. Yes. It's a good thing with audio. You can always just start it and stop it. YouTube's already live. But that's not my problem. Because I want you to contribute to the share. I want you to be involved. In fact, we're going to start the Facebook Live completely again. For some reason it's not working. I didn't have it on the right Wi-Fi, Baruch Hashem. So we're going to start that again on the Facebook Live. That's great. Thank God we have all these tools. And you guys on YouTube, patience. You should check out all the classes we've been putting up. Join us weekly. We don't take you for granted. We don't take what we accomplish together for granted. Thank God these are growing, thousands and thousands of viewers. I'm going to start again in one moment. Just getting this set up. Yes, we want to feel happy. It's under description. Oops, it wasn't the description. I have to get it back again from the WhatsApp. Here we go. Amazing technology. I get to talk to you weekly, and we don't take it for granted. Remember, I want you guys to reach out weekly and check out the links in the description. Let's make this a great class on all platforms. It's a broken heart. A mamish broken heart. Can't believe it. What's going on in the world? What's going on inside? What's going on technologically? Thank God. Let's do it with joy. Okay. Begin again. Welcome to our Emuna is Our Future class with a broken heart. We are live on Facebook, and thank God we have our edited version coming live on our website, Breslev.com, constantly updating, fixing all the different challenges over there, constantly updating. But most importantly, we have to work on the inner level, the heart level. This is where the challenge lies for our generation, the mental well-being, the ability to have joy in what we're doing only can come first with a broken heart. That you don't enter into the realm of Purim, Mishaniknas Adamam V'Simcha. You can't get to Purim Kotan, or the main Purim that we're approaching in the next 2 weeks or less than that, a week from now. Zainada is already coming tonight and tomorrow. A week from today will be Purim Kotan, and a month from then there will then be the main Purim. We can't enter into that big light of Purim, whether it's the small Purim or the big Purim, the main Purim. We can't enter into such a realm, such a world, such a olam of kesef, of his galus, of revelation. We can't enter such a place until we've first gone through the fast day, until we've gone first through the inner part of ourselves, through these days of Shovivim, Tat, that we were just in right now. We have to do tshuva, and this is the climax right now with Tetzaveh, Parsha Tetzaveh, with the Kohen Gadol. The Choshen is on the lave of the Kohen Gadol. This insight into this intuition, this Ruach HaKodesh, this Nevuah, this prophecy, the way to know with clarity what our path is and what our mission is comes from these parshas, Shovivim, Tat, Truma Tetzava, the Mishkan, B'Shchanti, B'Socham, the Hashem should dwell amongst us, and to Megala, to reveal the element of the Kohen Gadol, the high priest. Being that I'm a Kohen, I feel a connection to this special energy and to the begodim of the Kohen Hediot, the Kohen Gadol. We have these special white clothing for the Kohen Hediot, these 4 begodim, and then we get to the 4 levels of clothing for the Kohen Gadol extra that bring us to the level of Big Day Kahuna, and it's a whole different level of kapara, of atonement and connection to a Kodesh Baruch Hu. These are very deep parshas, Truma Tetzaveh. Special time right now as we complete in this leap year, Shovivim Tat. We get the extension of Shovivim into these 2 parshas, and we don't go straight to Purim, we go to Purim Kotan, which is the smaller Purim, and we have an extra month of Adar to prepare for the big Dalet Parshias of Shkolim and Zochor and Para and Chodesh, to prepare for those special lights, those Dalet Osius, the Shem Avaya. This is the time right now where we work on the heart level. The whole inner level of Shovivim, as it says in the Kedushas Levi, is to develop the broken heart that we are truly doing tshuva. As it says, and someone quoted it, even on Facebook you can find these diamonds. They've quoted, they didn't know which Rebbe, but I think it's the Kotzker Rebbe. There's nothing more precious than a broken heart. And we know from David HaMelech himself in Tehillim that the Shviras Alev, the broken heart, is more precious than all the korbanos and the Torah and all the different avodas and all the different holy developments of a person can go on. Like even right now, before we started on YouTube Live, we had to wait for the Facebook to get fixed with the Wi-Fi and the technological things. This broken internet. We broke the internet, as we make a joke. People say, like, when the song comes out, you broke the internet. Yeah. There's a Tom McDonald song that came out, broke the internet. Or so what's going on now with Joe Rogan and all the different viral posts going about his story and his podcasts and the Joe Rogan Experience, which personally I'm a big fan of, is breaking the internet. This is the external world. We have to make sure that no matter what we're doing on the external level, we're constantly working on the heart level, on the inner level. This is the key to the journey. This is the key to our development and our connection to Hashem. Why? Because we know, Rahmana Liba Boy, that the Rabbanu Shalom, as it says in the Chazal, wants our heart. That's the main thing he wants. It's brought down from all the Sadikim. From Biederman brings it down beautifully in his weekly Torahs, the idea that Hashem wants our heart. And Purim, Shovivim, these are times where our heart level starts to really reveal itself more and more. But the key, like we're saying in the title, is it has to have a certain level of brokenness. Who hasn't felt broken by the last 2 years of all the struggles with the Corona challenge? As I mentioned many times here, my children still have not seen their grandparents, and it's over 2.5 years almost, and that's crazy. And that's a lot to do with these rules and restrictions that prevented them from coming one time, and then till all the different rules and everything's working itself out. And for them, their side, they're getting older, and it's a challenge. It's breaking the ability for people to have those loving relationships that I remember as a child growing up with, and I'm sure all of you are in an older generation remember when the world was a bit more functional, normal, we were able to grow up with family around us, a large family. Now we're spread out globally, but then there's a certain inner level that we can connect into, and this is what we talked about again and again in these classes, the concept of united souls, that we have ability to tune in to that level of connection, that on a global level we are connected, not just through these internet classes, through these Emuna classes, but we're connected through the soul level, and that soul level resides in our hearts, in our minds, in our journey through spirituality. I'll never forget when I first was going on my journey towards Hashem. I was in a place called Golders Green in London. I don't know if you guys have heard of this place, but I was walking along, I was going to the JLE. I'd just been working in a factory with like a warehouse kind of thing for merchandise, for cool entertainment stuff that my family involved with in London. And I was coming away, I think there was James Bond and other stuff going on that was busy with wrestling, all this different stuff. And I'd just been busy with it all morning. And I was coming finally to get in the afternoon, which was not too far, the warehouse to where the shul was, the JLE, to come learn and get myself more spiritually engaged. And a holy old man came up to me and looked into my eyes. And this is like a long time ago. I think I even had long hair then, earrings. I remember if I still had that. But I was definitely not where I'm at now. And he looked into my eyes and he said to me, you have a broken heart. And he said, that's the key. Keep going with that broken heart. Because even though we all want to heal and we want to have a whole heart, we want to become a Lev Tov and reach that level of shlemus, of completion. But while we're still in this exile, while we're still in the preparation level, we have to work with that reality that we're in pain, that we've gone through struggle, that we have to face struggle daily, and we have to be totally at one with that reality that we're in during this time period, even though we constantly pray for a better reality, for more revealed, good reality. For example, we were talking yesterday in our wonderful Emuna class, excuse my voice, we had Rav Dayan Elgod sitting here, and we had Rav Dover Halperin sitting here, our guest. He brought a wonderful fruit platter, which is the cover for the YouTube video. We went and took it to Rav Shalom Arush, and I want to explain that cover photo. Why did I choose that cover photo for the YouTube live? I chose it because the whole element of a broken heart, when I looked at Rav Arush, and we were there with this fruit, and he's not 100% healthy. Thank God he is recovering. And we spoke about it in our Emuna class yesterday with Dayan Elgod's input. But now it's there standing in front of the Rav himself, Rav Shalom Arush, and I could see in his eyes a certain sadness I don't usually see, even though he was smiling, and his eyes smile as well. But there was a certain sadness as well because he wants to be mashpia. He wants to give. So deeply does he want to go do his classes, go on his tours, and thank God we do have a plan for after Pesach. Hopefully he has a full recovery to make it to Brooklyn, to make it to LA, to make it to the UK. We hope to have these small little weekends, and we're optimistic and full of prayer, and we know that that's the will of the Rav. The Rav wants us to continue with these classes. He wants us to keep bringing the musicians in, and this coming Sunday, we're excited to announce we've got Liron Mazur, amazing guest. We're going to go into the concepts of soulful money, how to spiritualize our money situation, how to make money more elevated, especially right now. We're going towards Purim Kotzim, Purim Godel, we're going towards this time of Tzedakah, Machitzas Shekel. We have the campaign. We put that on our Facebook already, on our YouTube, thank God, in the community section, and also in all the other places we post, in the Instagram and the WhatsApp, and it's all there. You guys can see the campaign. Press the link, partner. If you don't have a link, just message me. I'll send it to you, DM me, email me. There's always links in the description how to connect into these campaigns. Plus, you can always partner with Emuna as our future Emuna Tour 2022. There's always our opportunity. Always put the PayPal link there, which links you up to the live feed, which we've got the YouTube video going right now. Even if you guys had to wait a few minutes till we started the class, but the concept of bringing unity global, bringing Emuna global, connecting with people. It's not an external thing. It's not just about these posts and these campaigns. It's about from the inner level. That's the inner aspect. And when I was standing with Rav Arush, I felt his shviras halev. I felt his brokenheartedness, that he was not able to fully communicate and go teach like he does. We usually would have a packed day, class after class. Right now, myself, we come with Dayan Elgod, we have a guest, we have other Rabbonim come, his son, Rav Natan, we had Jonathan Galen in Spanish, all the different languages, Hebrew, Spanish, and French. There's other languages, thank God we have other staff here, but it's still not the same thing as Rav Arush himself, and you can see from him how much he wants to connect with you guys and give over an amazing class. He wants to pick up the world towards Mashiach. He wants to pray for our missiles. We know from him very clearly in his campaign to pray for all the love. And you guys can keep sending me your names, because thank God we can still send those names to him. Thank God he's in a functional state. It's just a matter of the classes. We have to pray that his speech fully returns. He'll be able to give a full class with his full koyach hadibur, full strength of speech. That's the prayers we need to have. And one of the tikkunim, he said, is we have to work on how we use our speech. We know from the Big Day Kahuna in this week's Parshat Tetzaveh that the me'il, the coat, the long jacket that the Kohen Gadol wore, this like long kind of dress thing with the rimonim at the bottom and all the different aspects, this idea of the me'il, it has a double cover. And the concept is that we should close our lips. Shouldn't just be so quick to speak out, especially right now. Like we mentioned, and if you check it out in the links and description, and we already mentioned before with Joe Rogan, that he's one of the people out there who, thank God, it's a very free podcast platform and gives over a lot of positive entertainment and comedic classes and fun. And unfortunately, the world has decided they're better than that for some reason. Not the whole world, thank God. Seems like a lot of people are still pro Joe Rogan. A lot of people are pro his classes and pro his podcast, his personality, and he has a lot of friends and supporters. But at the same time, there's still a large amount of well-known people who are coming out more and more against him, and it's very sad to see this as it progresses. And we like to not talk about controversial or anything political. I don't think it's a political thing. I think it's actually a mochama for the soul of humanity, that people need to be able to communicate, people need to connect, and this whole thing of masking everyone up, masking up the children, covering everything up, making things very robotic, very controlled. It's the opposite of the soul. We have to allow people to express themselves, to use their mouth in a positive way, to be able to communicate, to have ponim upon him, that faces are meant to connect, they're not meant to have masks. We know from the Megillah this whole idea of the the hiddenness, and we'll talk about that more as we go through the Purim Kotan, and as we prepare towards the main Purim. I'm learning right now, my oldest son, Lekuti Halachas, and I brought it over to my family as well, that there's a big beautiful tikkun there, that comes the Sadic, the ponim of the Sadic, the face of the Sadic, Mordechai and Esther, the Hadrus ponim, comes their eitzes, comes their path, and they megale through the Sipurei Sadiqim, through the stories of righteous people, and they reveal, thank God, to us that we have the ability, even in the exile that was then during Purim, where Haman wanted to kill all the men and women and the children, everybody, all the Jewish people, just like Hila Machshamo and Amalek has wanted to, all the generations, comes now in our generation. There's a force that wants to destroy the soul of man, and that was one of the main wars that I felt the Nazis and Machshamo. They were at war not just with the guf, the physical aspect of the Jewish people. They wanted to destroy the soul of the Jewish people. They wanted to get rid of this consciousness, this soul level that makes us have a consciousness, have an understanding. People make a joke, call it Jewish guilt, but on a deep level, what I would say, that the soul level comes from the Kaila Fenster, comes from this deep level of soul, and it's nothing to do with guilt. It's to do with a deep connection to truth, to values, to loyalty. And I spoke about this on this podcast link, if you check it out, from the around the Shabbos table, and it's something which I talk about at my Shabbos table. And we had our Mogomai, we together put out a beautiful podcast. He chose the title, why is Joe Rogan so popular? But the main nakuda of what I was getting at, the main point, was the power of us communicating properly, of us joining together on a soul level, having the ability to communicate. That, in my opinion, was the power of Aaron HaKohen, that he was meritorious and all his descendants to be the Kohen Gadol, and to have the Kohuna, to have the priesthood, to be able to serve in the most intimate chambers of Hashem and dwelling in this world, that there was such a path of people like this. Why? Because they were able, like it says in Parsha Shmos, that Aaron HaKohen constantly had a leiv tov, a leiv of a heart of goodness towards his brother Moshe Rabbeinu, whose Zion Ad is coming up. It's interesting because we see in Parsha Tetzaveh that Ata Tetzaveh, there's no mention of Moshe Rabbeinu, just Ata, you, Tetzaveh, you command. It doesn't say his name, so we don't see the name of Moshe in the Parsha. It says the Balaturim, says the Mefarshim, the idea that Moshe Rabbeinu, his name doesn't appear, and usually it comes out on the week of his Yotzai and his Yom Yoledet, his birthday and his anniversary when he passed away. Comes out such a special day, Zayin Adar, the day of the Chevra Kadisha, the day of where we commemorate those people who honor the people who passed away, who nifta means the idea of potter from this world. They've gone to a higher world. It's not a negative thing, it's just transformations, different levels, going up different levels. That's the idea of people make it so scary, the idea of death and things, but really the right way to understand it is it's just going up levels, revealing the soul level on a higher level of who we are, and removing the body until we're ready to then bring the soul back into the body through Tchias HaMesim, through resurrection, and not to be scared of these concepts, but to understand this as part of the process of humanity, the godly process, the true process, to understand who we are, but in essence. And the beautiful aspect is that we understand that Aaron had a leiv tov, had a good heart, a leiv shalom towards his brother Moshe, that he was now going to become the manik, the leader of Israel, of the Jewish people, the one who's going to be the Novi of all the Nevi'im, to be the prophet of all the prophets, to be able to talk to Hashem, upon him. And he was happy, he was at peace with himself. He was happy to do his avodah, his tafkid, his mission, and not be jealous of his brother. I think that would be a big advice for all the people out there who are jealous of Joe Rogan or jealous of other people of success, to stop with the jealousy. Face yourself. Go inward. Stop going outward and attacking other people. Face your issues. issues, face your realities that success is not going to come from cancelling or crushing other people. It's going to come success from working on yourself. Because in the end, Aaron Cohen did become the big Kahana, did become the big day Cohen, to merit to wear the big day Kahana, and to have the Choshen, to have this breastplate which would light up with clarification, like the ultimate guiding force for the Jewish people to know when to do certain things. Like David HaMelech, when he wanted to make Mulchama, he had to come to the Kohen Gadol. And that's the idea. The king of Israel had to come to the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, to get clarity about what Hashem wanted through the Urim and Tumim, this clarifying stones. And this came through this tremendous acceptance that his brother would be the kilo, as if the Melech, or the leader of the Jewish people. And that was Moshe Rabbeinu. He was able to miyachid. And I saw in a Chabad Sefer today, the idea that the Moshe Rabbeinu is spread out door by door, and every generation is a Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's to balance out all the forces of not good, because within every soul and every person is a spark of Moshe Rabbeinu, is a spark of the leader, the shepherd of Klal Yisrael, the one who's going to lead us out of exile, just like he did in Egypt. He's going to lead us out of this exile, the neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu, the nishmas Mashiach, the soul of the Messiah. This idea, and the soul of Messiah is really, truly, is a spiritual reality. It's not some religious like fanaticism. It's a real reality that every person is walking around with this ability to have tremendous potential. Everyone talks about it. All the thought leaders, all the inspirational people out there, they all understand the potential of people. That's one of the big praises to Joe Rogan. When he sits with people, he empowers them to make millions, to be successful, to find the more important part, not just the money aspect, but to find their purpose, their focus. And we should give him credit. And all the people that have gained from him should come out and support and protect him from this cancel culture. Because in the end, if it cancels him, it's going to cancel all of us. We all need to fight this. This is a war for the soul, because the soul's trying to express itself through success, through doing its purpose, and the world's trying to shut it down. Now, I'm not saying he's perfect. He's perfectly fulfilling his purpose, and he's perfectly fulfilling the purpose of humanity. But on his level, he's doing a better job than most of those people trying to cancel him. And therefore, all of us, and we know Chochmah Goyim Tamim, that we learn from the non-Jewish world certain wisdoms. We can learn how to communicate. We can learn how to make podcasts and how to make online media that's successful and that reaches out to people. And another point, I want to remind everyone, one of the things that I really respect about Joe Rogan is he schwitzes. And this is something which we learn out from Sadikim, Havdalas. We learn out from Rabbonim and people who learn in Torah. They steig, they schwitz. Take someone like David Goggins, who's definitely a big supporter of Joe Rogan. He schwitz. He steigs, he presses and pushes himself to grow. There's no like this easy life, relying on government to look after me, giving my power over to other people. No, he takes it on himself to work hard, to accomplish. And that all of us can do that. By the way, I welcome your feedback. I see some love going on online, but all of us have the ability to encourage and to empower, to make a difference in this reality. And all of us have that inner strength. That's the godly spark within that we should never neglect. That's what Hashem wants us to be in tune with on a daily level. We have to do a spodidus when we talk to Hashem, to have that relationship, to bring out the Emunah as our future reality. We have to speak it out. That strengthens the godly soul. That strengthens our reality to connect by bringing down the spiritual reality of truth into our life, into our mouth, to start off the day with prayer, to have mincha, maariv, to have spodidus, to talk to Hashem, find a quiet time, to talk to Hashem, to get your day ready, to get your day primed, as Kaila Fenster is so wisely reminding us. Me personally, I went swimming today, the day before I went to the gym. You've got to keep your body healthy, you've got to keep your soul focused. It's about energized living. It's not about, God forbid, living a lazy life or giving in too easy. We have to be empowered. It's a war for our soul. It's not something, Shalom, people are reaching out, Shalom, Shalom. It's not a reality of taking it easy. We can take it easy when the right time, when it's Shabbos Kodesh, or we've done our work, we've done our tafkid. We have to work hard, all of us, in doing our purpose, and that will be the key for us to come to our shleimus, our completion in our mission. And with that ability, all of us should remind ourselves on a daily level, as we're coming to this Shabbos, Parshat Tzava, please God, we're going to a new week, Parshat Kisisa, we're going to have the Mechisa Shekel, literally in the Parsha, we're We're going to learn about this half shekel, this half coin that we give, and it's the symbolic of many deep things. Hopefully we'll talk about it a little bit in the new week, and Purim Cotton and the idea of charity. I mentioned it to Rav Dianagod, one of the subjects we need to talk about. Please God, and hopefully people will send me their questions. Keep reminding you that we have the Q&A. We hope Rav Arush himself will be joining us. We have to keep praying for that. But in the meanwhile, Baruch Hashem, we do have a big Talmid Chacham, a big student of the Rav El-God, whose bottle, himself, his mind, his wisdom is coming through Rav Arush, Baruch Hashem. He's thank God, learned with him for many years, and learned with him and become a student of his in a real way, a student of many other great Rabbonim as well before that. And we all have to learn from these kind of personalities. We all need to connect ourselves to people who communicate on a truthful level, on a unifying level, that bring us together more. I recommend everyone, again, check out all the links in the description, join our weekly classes. We're going to, please God, have Rav Ralph's Cohen class keep coming. We've got the from Rabbi Nachum. We're going to share that on our platforms with Yonatan Balash. We keep putting out content, Emuna content, and thank God we have all the wonderful opportunities to join us weekly and in our Emuna class and to share it weekly. That means throughout the week to get it into more and more Facebook groups as you can. It's an easy thing to do. Just press one button, like or share. It's not such a hard task. And what it does, it gets other people the opportunity to connect into these classes and these truthful ways of thinking and being. Because remember, that was the important attribute that Aaron HaKohen had achna, he had humility to want to see the success of another friend of his or a brother of his. Hina matzu v'naim, shevet hachim gam yachad. That was the pasuk, and I mentioned this before, that brought me back to Judaism, this how pleasant it would be when all of us would dwell together in harmony. And that came from a respect and a love, a brotherly love, a sisterly love, a family love, ability to build other people around you and to want their success. Not to just say it's only about me, but to want other people's success. And I see that, thank God, in these podcasts online, there are people like that. They want other people's success. They're not trying to cancel anyone. They're trying to build people. And that's the kind of thing we need to be involved with. That's the partnership that we need to have as united souls, that we're joining together on a weekly level. We're experiencing these spiritual realities, this Emuna reality that Hashem is constantly influencing creation with a lot of light, a lot of clarity, and right now being that we're heading towards Purim. It's specifically in that hidingness, in that darkness, in that difficulty. That's where we'll see Hashem, Einon Mavada. That's where we'll see Hashem Echad. And that's the power of the Jewish soul, to bring it out more and more, the truth of who we are, and not to let any voices or anyone in our life say otherwise. That's the most important point. Do not let anybody talk you out of your mission, of who you are. Unless, God forbid, you're totally off the mark and you're not listening to the right advice. But if you're on the right path and you know this is truth and you know this is values and you've clarified it with your Rabbonim, with your people that you speak to for clear, objective advice, and you're on that path, be on it 100%. Be all in, as Gedalia always talks about. Or Tony Robbins says, you have to be all in, totally engaged in what you're doing. We're doing these classes, we're all in. Yeah, you're doing the Emuna experience. Be all in, partner. Be involved, share. Do your own classes. Get out your content. I'm sure there's out there even more special souls that are waiting to express themselves with Emuna content. Get it out there. Share it. Put it on your platforms. We don't have to be the main place. The main thing is we're all working together. All the different groups, all the different organizations, we're all there to help each other. That's one of my dreams of Unity Bookings. I was just posting on Shlomi Zion's video that an organization was promoting themselves. I was like, I know for a fact that organization came from 5 other organizations. So give them praise also. It will show your truth. It will show your power as an organization. You have the self-esteem and the Emuna that you know you'll be successful by helping other organizations as well and giving them credit when credit's due, to have appreciation. Like yesterday, we mentioned Breslev.org, we mentioned Rav Chaim Kramer's group, because they put out beautiful books on Rabbi Nachman and translated his Torahs so clearly in English, and so that we in our generation can read them. I remember all those books when I first came to Osmech, how helpful they were for me to connect into the path of Breslev as a path, and Baruch Hashem, those translations, and for me personally, the Chabad translations for Tanya helped me so much, even till this day. Even though Baruch Hashem I could read and understand without the translation, but it still helps. It's still my mama lashon. It's still what I grew up with. The English language is my first language still now, and therefore I appreciate anyone who took out the time who translated the Torah Kedosha so we can make it clearer and clearer and communicate. Because that is the key. That's what's going to get rid of all this divisiveness through clear communication. So let's keep those paths open. Keep sharing these classes global. It's not just about me. It's about all of us together. I can only do so much. But Baruch Hashem, as the Lubavitch Rebbe said, he set it up that his Hasidim and all the world is able now, with his advice, and same with all the other Sadikim's advice, with the advice of Moshe Rabbeinu that's in all of our souls, to get this world ready for Mashiach, to get this world ready for the Gula Shlema, where the truth of our souls will be revealed, the truth of our purpose, the truth of what we are here in reality in this creation for will be revealed. So all of us will be tuned in to our mission, to our purpose, and fulfill that purpose with joy and turn that broken heart that's screaming to Hashem. As we mentioned yesterday, it's so difficult financially for people right now with all the inflation, and it's happening globally, it's happening for sure, and so the tax increase, we're not getting paid more, we need your help, partnership. But in the end, there's only one help. No matter who out there helps us, there's only one help really. It's all Hashem Yisbarach. We have to scream to Hashem to help us get out of this difficult time. And not only that, we have to thank Hashem for all that was, all the blessings He's given us. We're sitting in the studio in Yerushalayim and say, thank you Hashem. As Rav Dainago so wisely pointed out, start to heal this broken heart. Use the broken heart for prayer. Use it to come closer to Hashem. To realize that the more broken we feel and the pain we feel, the lack of connection that we're having right now with family and friends on a physical level, and the fact that there's so much divisiveness in the world should break our heart to such a level that I always feel it. Unfortunately, I actually feel it right now. It's almost like there's blood pouring all over the place. It's so painful to think about how much lack of unity seemingly there is on an external level. But that's where we go inside and get that comfort. That the comfort to the neshama, the united souls level, is within. And that's my final point. The Kohen Gadol went into the Kodesh Kadoshim. He went into the place of unification. He was the agent of us to go into the Holy of Holies and to bring out that truth that we all are made in the divine image. We're all holy people. We all have we all have the Shechina b'toch each one, every single one of us. We have this godly element within us, and that was the true mission of the Kohen Gadol in this week's parsha. The Moshe Rabbeinu was able to erase himself from the Torah. Seemingly, he said, "Macheni mesifracha," as it says. He was willing to give up everything just so that the people that he was looking after, the people of the world, should be zocher to this revelation. He was completely willing to erase himself. So comes in this parsha of Atzit Tzava, we don't see any Moshe Rabbeinu's name. That was the point we were saying before. And so too of Aaron HaKohen, he was willing to give up that position of power to let other people be successful. That's the idea of giving up something and going into a new level of success, a level of love, a level of connection, of oneness, of unification, of holiness, of truth. And that's the true path that we are all part of, being part of this true vision of oneness and soul and spirituality and Emunah. I wish you all a beautiful rest of the week. Have a wonderful Shabbos Tetzaveh. Make it joyous, make it fun, because after we go out of the week, we enter into a realm of Shabbos, a time of joy, an Olam Nishmasa, a day of soul. And that's a beautiful experience, a whole day of soul. And it comes Purim in the week, and it becomes a spiritual day in the physical, in the Gashmis, in the Suda, in the charity, in all the different physical things, to remind us that really everything is spiritual. And we should be Zochim, He's God, to empower our soul to elevate this world. Thank you too for joining us, and keep sharing Emunah Global. Amen. We really appreciate it.